Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. Excited to be with you today. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic week. This episode's a little late this week, and I apologize for that. There was a mix-up with our queue of our episodes, so you're getting one this week regardless. Anyways, we're sponsored by Health West. These guys are a phenomenal group of people, a group of practitioners, and they're here to care about you and our community. So give them a call, give them a Google, find out where their nearest location is to you. So Health West throughout Idaho. You know, today and last week and even this week, I've been thinking a lot about balance as a husband, as an entrepreneur, as a father, as a son, and as a faith-going, God-fearing man, and I feel like I feel like most of the time we get so focused, as we're leaders and owners of these businesses, that all of our mind and our brainwaves are going directly towards growing the business, developing teams. What can we do to make things better all the time? The reason I've been thinking about this recently is because my wife just recently went over, had some minor surgery done, but she was pretty much in her bed for a week. So that was left it up to Mr. Mom here to be the husband that needed to take care of her, the father that needed to take care of our 4 children, and that includes the bedtime scenario, getting them all ready for bed. And I have ones that I have kids from 4 up to 11. So yeah, it's a process getting to bed. The older ones can kind of take care of themselves, but obviously you still want to be there as a father to say goodnight to them and to show them that your love, not just tell them about your love. And I'll be honest with you, I after 4-5 days of doing all of it straight, running kids from practices to from school, getting from school to doing all the, making lunches, doing all the activities that we usually share as a couple, my wife and I. It's draining. And on top of all that, you're trying to run a company, you're trying to keep customers happy, you're trying to keep employees happy and your team happy. And you have to balance within your mind the emotions you're feeling. Obviously, I felt like this previous week, I probably could have handled myself in a better way because there was times I'm like, I'm going to freaking snap. I don't know if you've been there before, but watching that many of your children, and trying to run things smoothly, things get a little hectic. And I looked back as I was thinking about this because there was a few explosions on my end, minor explosions of me. You got to yell at a kid once in a while. You got to tell them to get their act together. Let's just call it what it is. And I feel like even when things are in its normal state, you're always going to have different stresses in your life, either if it's coming from your family side or the business side, and sometimes it's both. You got to realize how are you going to handle that when it comes up? Especially, I think a lot of it as business leaders and business owners, we take the stresses that we deal with in our professional lives because we're with our team, we're with our employees a lot more on average than we are with our families during the day. So we come home, we have a stressful day at work, and if we don't remind ourselves, and I'm speaking because I'm trying to go through this process of my own. I've gotten a lot better, but obviously there is miles of progress I need to make still. But when you come home and you're frustrated, and I'm sure we've all been there, and you get in there and you open the door and it's chaos in your house. You got an older brother making a little sister cry. You got, two brothers fighting. You can look at your spouse and they're just like, you could tell they're at their wits' end with these crazy kids at times. So now you've got to decide at that point, are you going to let the stresses of your day from the business side boil over to the first thing you're saying to your children, being just the stress that you've endured throughout the day? Or are you going to go through this in your mind and think, these kids had nothing to do with what I experienced today, and they don't deserve me coming home in that state and then blowing up on them because I've seen them, wrestling or making their sister cry or something like that. Instead of, calmly talking to them and helping them understand things like, hey, let's not do that. Let's not give your little sister a swirly in the toilet. Obviously I'm going to be a little more intense if that situation arose in our home, but you get what I'm saying. There's times that you come home and because of the what's going on inside the home, there's an explosion, and then inevitably you regret it afterwards. And if you're someone that can admit that you're wrong, hopefully you're going to your children later on and saying, you know what, I'm sorry, that was on me. You didn't deserve that. You didn't, but let's talk through why that happened. And let's talk through why I was even upset with you in the first place. And I know this is a business podcast, but this is important, guys and gals, because without balance in our lives, and it's hard because, when you're at work, you have to know, like, you can't be thinking about your family while you're in the middle of putting a deal together. Like, you're all in at work. I totally get that. But you got to remember, hey, when I'm home and I turn that car off, the ignition off, and I'm in my driveway, you got to literally, even if it takes you 10 seconds or 20 seconds or 30 seconds or even a minute of just decompressing, turn off the music in your car. You've had a stressful day, take some deep breaths, maybe say a prayer, and make yourself realize, hey, my family has nothing to do with what just happened to me at work today. I need to go in, and give this, my family, a fresh start, give my mental capacities a fresh start so they understand and know that I love them, and they're not coming home and they're not seeing dad come home and they're running for the fences because, more times out of not, he is upset, or even mom coming home. She's upset from work, and that's not fair for our kids or fair for our spouses or our loved ones. There's a few quotes. There's one from David O. McKay that says, no success outside of the home can make up for failure inside the home. And that's hit me hard recently, because obviously we're not going to purposely, try to fail at home. But there's times, I'll be honest with you, there's times that I feel like I've failed as a father. There's times I'm like, gosh, dang, I totally blew that situation. I totally misread what was going on there, and I didn't act accordingly. I have my oldest kid. I hear talking to my spouse. I'm being very candid right now with all of you. That when he was born, I was right in the thick of starting my first company, and I was broke as a joke. I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together, and there was a lot of stress. And even when it came to my second born, still broke. 2 years later, and there was a lot of stresses that would come home with me, And there would be, and I was young, I was immature, and I didn't know how to handle my emotions very well. And I'm sure my spouse hated me at times, or most of the time. I don't know. She hasn't told me that. And I just felt like I didn't give my oldest my best foot forward. And that's bugged me even till now. And now he's 11 years old. So and obviously reading that quote, you're just thinking, crap, what can I do? What can I do now to help make up for the things I should have done earlier? Because I truly don't think that we can be successful in our professional lives if what's going on at home is just drama, and you're not clear what's going, where you stand at home with your children or your spouse or your loved ones. Zig Ziglar said, "I believe that being successful means having a balance of success stories across the many areas of your life. You can truly be considered successful in your business life if your home life is in shambles. So you can't truly be considered successful if your business life, if your home life is in shambles." And that describes my feelings as of late, because man, there is so much that we need to be aware of when we're running businesses, because we got to remember, when it's all said and done, you are there for your family. Obviously you need to be there for your business, but if the business goes away and that isn't there anymore, what remains? Your family's always going to be there for you. And I think many people, or most people, especially on their deathbeds, or if they get very sick, they're not going to think of, I just wish I pushed one more deal through in business. I wish I would have just hit the gross revenue goal I had for this last year. This really bothers me. And you think that's going to be happening, or is it going to be, you know what? Gosh, I really wish I wouldn't have missed so many baseball games. I really wish I wouldn't have missed that Last Dance recital. I really wish, I would have taken my spouse on some more dates and really connected with my family better. So I'm hoping, as I'm talking it through with you guys, that I can absorb more of this myself, because I need to teach myself this a lot more, because I need to be better. So as you're going throughout your lives, this week, no matter what kind of stress is upon you, because crap's going to happen, regardless. And that's going to happen. Not every day is going to be just this glowy, perfect day. As much as we talk about having a positive mindset, that's super important. And I can tell you right now for surety that the way my mindset is now compared to where it was even 5 years or 2 years ago, we experienced some stuff this month in our business that, probably would have really affected me a couple years ago. But because of now and knowing the cycle of my business and cycle of, who I am as a businessman and our confidence in our team, it doesn't affect me that much. Obviously I'm very competitive with how I do things and how I run my business, but there's not a dramatic, roller coaster down and a roller coaster up anymore. It's pretty level, and there's some small ups and downs, but we got to think that, that as we're raising our kids and raising our family, that, hey, we want to, before they leave the home and we're empty nesters, we want to make memories with them. We want to have time with them. We want them to be able to want to come home and be with us after they leave the nest. Because that would be the biggest thing. That would be the biggest kick in my face, is if my kids left the house and didn't want to come back to see me because I was too busy with work or too busy with the next deal. So I hope these things I'm talking about today can resonate with any of you, because it's important. It's important. I think if we keep this balance, and strive for this balance, your life and your professional arena is going to get better. In your life, obviously, with your family, is going to get better. But just remember what's truly important out there. So try to find that balance. Obviously, you're not going to start out. If you have zero balance right now, obviously you're not going to just start out this upcoming week and be a complete 50-50 balance, but, find those times that you can make those, 1% corrections little by little, and then find yourself in a better situation. So you can be a happier person at work, and you can be a happier person, a better father, better husband at home. So hope that's important to you. If it is, go after it, go strive for it. And as always, go out there, be happy, go find someone to serve, and have some gratitude in your heart. Until next time, adios, and we'll see you next episode.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.